Yellowstone caldera, widely known as the Yellowstone supervolcano, is a boiling cauldron of magma located under Yellowstone National Park in Wyoming and Montana. The last time the caldera erupted was 640,000 years ago, and it spewed approximately 1,000 kilometers cubed of volcanic rock fragments, or pyroclastic material. This puts it at a level 8, the highest level in what is known as the Volcanic Explosivity Index, or the VEI. The VEI ranges from 0 to 8, with 8 being the highest and 0 the lowest. It measures the amount of pyroclastic material ejected during an eruption. The 1815 supereruption of Mount Tambora in Indonesia, for example, gained a level 7 on the VEI, expelling over 100 kilometers cubed of pyroclastic material. Now, it is highly unlikely that Yellowstone is going to erupt anytime soon, but if we learned anything from the Tambora eruption that claimed thousands of homes and countless lives, it's to be prepared for the worst. When Mount St. Helens in Washington erupted in 1980, it caused $1.1 billion in losses and 57 deaths. It was at a level 4 on the VEI, producing 1 kilometer cubed of pyroclastic material. Now, imagine an eruption 1,000 times that size. That's Yellowstone. A level 8 eruption hasn't been experienced in human history before, but we know for sure that with modern technology at stake, the effects of a Yellowstone eruption would be completely catastrophic. This video is all about how to be prepared and how to survive a supereruption. There are approximately 3.2 million people within the primary kill zone, which spans the states of Idaho, Wyoming, and Montana, and evacuating all those people will take time. The effects of a VEI 8 eruption will reach much farther than 3 states. Residents of the US and some of southern Canada will all be affected, and those within the kill zone will need to be evacuated as soon as possible. That's about 2/3 of the US that will be affected, mainly people of German descent, with English being the primary language. The average income per person is about $35,000 to $45,000 in Montana and Wyoming, with jobs such as ranch hands and farmers. Should Yellowstone erupt, residents in the ash zones will lose their jobs, and even years after, many may not be able to salvage their lands or their former lives. In the case of such an event, a mass evacuation will take place. Because ash clogs plane engines and makes it hard to see, many will most likely have to travel by car, boat, or on foot. However, scientists believe that they are able to predict when the eruption will happen by studying the heat of the caldera and the seismic activity in the area. Some claim that the US has created a contingency plan for the event, to evacuate citizens to temporary homes in Argentina, Brazil, and Australia. But it's likely that not everyone will be evacuated. If you're in the United States at the time, you will likely hear of the eruption via the radio or media news site. You'll be informed when it starts to happen, so here's what to do. Listen to authorities and get somewhere safe. If you're trying to get away in your car and roads are blocked, get as far as you can before huddling down in your car with the windows closed and the doors locked. Do not operate the fan in your car, as that could draw in toxic gases and ash. If you're on foot, find somewhere sheltered, preferably a closed-off space with a strong infrastructure. Most tall buildings are made to withstand weight, which will come in the form of heavy volcanic ash. Chances are, if you aren't within the kill zone and haven't been evacuated, you're safe from lava flows, but even then, much greater devastation comes from the black ash cloud and sky. Be sure to cover your eyes, nose, and mouth, and find an insulated shelter as soon as possible. As soon as you find shelter, whether it's in your car or in a building, find a way to access local news. Tune into any portable CB radio or live news site on your phone, and if your family has a portable radio system like walkie-talkies, use that to stay in touch with them. National Public Radio and USA Radio are both options to listen to if you're located in the United States or near Yellowstone for the duration of the event. Conserve power on your phone by lowering screen brightness, keeping calls short, and switching your phone to low power mode. Only use it if it's absolutely necessary, and charge it whenever you can. If the power goes out, use whatever power source is available. Phones can be charged on laptops or by using portable chargers, and if you can't use your car for anything, charge your phone in your car. If you are trapped in an emergency situation by yourself or with others and you need immediate help, call an available emergency hotline such as 911 or a number given out by local authorities. Call loved ones to get in touch and set up a check-in schedule and when and where to meet. As soon as you can, try to stock up on food and water. The average adult male requires an intake of 2,500 calories daily, while females need to consume 2,000 calories daily. Of those calories, 20 to 30% should be fat, found in foods such as nuts, fish, butter, olive oil, and avocados. The average adult should also consume 46 to 56 grams of protein, found in fish, chicken, and grains. 225 to 325 grams of carbohydrates found in oats, grains, and starchy foods, and vitamins A, B, C, and D found in various fruits, vegetables, and eggs. However, many of these foods don't last long without refrigeration. Fresh, organic foods such as fruits, vegetables, dairy products, eggs, and leftovers go bad within 2 hours without refrigeration. A better option would be to stock up on non-perishables such as canned foods, canned beans, corns, stews, and other easy-to-heat foods. They can last years without going bad. Health supplement options are also viable as they provide all the nutrients you need and don't require refrigeration. Another concern is water. Adults need to consume a minimum of 2 liters of water a day, so the best thing to do would be to stock your car, home, and workplace with purified bottled water. Water can also be purified in a variety of ways. One example is lifesaver bottles, which use carbon filters to purify your water directly from its source. The carbon filter also removes solid materials, so it's an easy one-step process. If you don't have lifesaver bottles, another method is to boil it. After you've filtered it using an emergency water filter, boil it over a heat source. Once the water reaches a steady boil, it's safe to drink. Now, you need to be able to handle medical emergencies. Even when there's no imminent threat, it's important to keep a first aid kit on hand. This kit should include sterile gauze pads, bandages and medical tape, antibiotic ointment, 1 month's worth of prescription medications, thermometer, a suture kit, an emergency phone number list, a first aid pamphlet, splints and/or braces, antiseptic wipes, hydrogen peroxide, and pain meds. If you need to treat a cut or scrape, always start with clean hands. Apply pressure to stop the bleeding, clean the wound with antiseptic, apply the antibiotic and the bandage, and change the bandage periodically. If the wound is especially bad, use the first aid manual and apply stitches. If a main artery is cut, apply pressure immediately and try to position the area above the heart. Stopping the bleeding is the main objective, and this may require adding stitches to seal the wound. During tense or fatally wounding situations, victims may go into shock. To treat this, position the person on his or her back and elevate the legs slightly using a stable object. Try to keep the victim calm and at a comfortable temperature. Broken bones may also occur, but the most an untrained civilian could do would be to immobilize the area using a splint or brace. After that, the best thing would be to find a functioning hospital. Since the area that suffers Yellowstone's wrath is so vast, the best way to prepare for dire medical emergencies would be to always know where the hospitals in your community are located. There isn't one primary hospital to go to in case of this disaster, so it's your responsibility to know the locations of local hospitals. Always keep a list of nearby clinics and their addresses and phone numbers in your first aid kit, so you know exactly where to go and how to get there at all times. Emergency clinics often have what is known as a triage system, where patients are sorted based on their need for immediate medical treatment. Triage ranks are assigned using the treatment priority system. Priority 1 means the patient is in need of immediate life-saving care. Priority 2 means that the patient is in need of urgent care, and Priority 3 means the patient is in need of delayed care. Now that you've assembled knowledge of dealing in emergency situations, it's time to start analyzing long-term necessities, such as electricity and utilities.
However, if you need electricity, portable generators should not be used. Portable generators require space and air to function, and they release harmful gases into the air. This will only add to your difficulties. Ash could get clogged in the vents of your generator, and the byproduct of gases only adds to the toxics floating around in the atmosphere.
A standby generator is a much better option in the case of a Yellowstone eruption. Although it is more costly, it pays off in the long run. If the power cuts out, the generator automatically kicks in and lasts for about 3,000 hours at a time. Other power concerns can be solved using batteries. 1 to 2 car batteries, a deluxe pack of disposable batteries, and several rechargeable batteries are all viable options to power your appliances and other devices. In some cases, an emergency situation could call for you to shut down your home's electricity. Your home's power can be managed at the fuse box, usually located in the basement, boiler room, or garage. Simply switching off the main will shut down your home completely. Then, functions such as heating and opening the garage door will have to be done manually. If you want to shut off your water main, find the main pipe to your home and turn the valve all the way to the right. If you want to shut off your home's natural gas, locate the shut-off valve on the riser pipe from the ground to your meter, or on newer models, the service from the meter to your house, and turn it to the off position. If you don't have a generator and you need to keep warm, light the fireplace or use a wood-burning stove. Wear layered clothing, especially since volcanic ash clouds keep out the sunlight, so you'll be cold no matter what season it is. If you need to stay cool, lightweight fabric allows heat to escape your body, and hammocks increase airflow around your body as you rest. Keeping your food frozen is another thing. Fill a cooler with as much ice as you can and store any meats, fruits, or vegetables that you have inside. This will keep them cool. Among previous topics, people also need to be provided temporary shelter during a Yellowstone eruption. Winter shelter housing structures are portable dome shelters that can fit in the bed of a pickup truck. Costing around $12,000, these could be set up as temporary shelters for Yellowstone refugees. During the eruption of Mount St. Helens, homes were destroyed because of the mud flows and the weight of the ash. Smaller buildings not built to withstand weight and closer to the volcano collapsed first, but even then many others were still affected. And the same goes for Yellowstone. Structures such as bridges and tunnels are also likely to be destroyed in the initial explosion. Bridge damages costing $1.6 to $2 million and tunnel repair costs ranging in the higher millions. It is near impossible to calculate the cost of a disaster of this scale, except that it will be in the high billions. When Mount St. Helens erupted, its devastation cost $1.1 billion, and Yellowstone is 1,000 times worse. We as a race have yet to experience a disaster of this scale, so it's unlikely that any insurance will cover these damages completely. Still, most homeowners' insurance will cover volcanic damage. Surviving Yellowstone is a matter of protecting you, your home, and your loved ones. While an eventual eruption is unavoidable, it's always an option to be prepared.